day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on.
Hey, another PS4 collection video. I know what you're thinking. Man, these are taking a while. Well, I do what I can. But I hope you guys enjoy these games. They're kind of more a guilty pleasures and a revival in a certain genre of video game, and I've really hit that in this latest console generation. One in particular will definitely stand out. It's the very first game, but the rest are just filled with a revival and guilty pleasures. I hope you guys enjoy these next 5. So this first PS4 game we're going to go over is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. Not to be confused with Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. This is, think of it like an introduction to the Phantom Pain, or someone who just doesn't want to play Phantom Pain because of the sheer amount the game has to offer. I'm a fan of Ground Zeroes. A lot of people criticize it for its short in length in the game, but let's say you just don't have 100+ hours to put into a Metal Gear game. Because the Metal Gear games are notoriously long, the cutscenes are long, but in Ground Zeroes, it's almost like if you've never played a Metal Gear Solid game before, this is a good one to start with, especially in the new generation that we're in now, or the current, you might say. The voice acting in this is superb. The visuals are superb. Everything about this game, right down to the detail, it really speaks volumes to Kojima and what he has done with Metal Gear from start to finish. It's actually quite incredible. Now you're still Snake of some kind, haha, and you have to traverse various mission areas in a stealth fashion like you always have without getting spotted. And the game actually rewards you for not getting spotted, much like it has in previous games. But in this one in particular, you almost want to do it. I mean, at least in my experience, in past Metal Gear games, I never felt obligated or really necessary to use the stealth to its advantage. I always kind of run and gunned it. But man, this new iteration of the series, and probably the last, unfortunately, did not disappoint from start to finish. I love Ground Zeroes. I love the length, actually, despite criticism. And there's just this is just what I'm lost for words in how to further describe what Ground Zeroes did to me in reviving my interest in Metal Gear Solid. So this next game here is Blazblue Chrono Phantasma Extend, and it's an anime fighting game, to say the least. It's, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of the better fighting games in the last couple console generations, PS3 and PS4 included. I got the PS4 one because lately I've had my fighting game spirit back, you might say, with this new iteration of gaming. It has all the mechanics of the previous Blazblue games, but it seems like the characters are more refined in this. You have a ton of choices. They've really fixed it up compared to the previous two. I have played them, but I was never truly into them. In this one, they've completely removed the unfair elements, and they've added this new mechanic called Overdrive, which is essentially kind of a special attack, and when the character's health is lower in a battle, the overdrive is more powerful. So I really love that. What I also love is the fact that the story mode is still there, and I was actually into it this time around. The characters are super lovable. I love the art style, the music that's gone into it. Nothing seems unfair or cheap. Everything came with the game. Now, much like most fighting games today, I had to wait till the Extend version came out, so all the DLCs are already there. But honestly, I mean, it's just nice to play. It's a super kooky game. It's nothing compared to, say, Fighting Climax on the PS3. If you look at our channel playthrough, it's total nonsense. But for Blazblue and for anime fans and fans of fighting games in particular, You will not be disappointed with this game. I know I wasn't. I'm very happy to have this, and I hope people play me online sometimes. So this is a game, JStars vs. Plus, that I must say is a guilty pleasure. Bandai Namco seems to be my developer in this modern age, or at least with games that don't disappoint me. I grew up an anime fan, so this is just like a love letter to me. It has all these characters that I grew up loving. Sure, there's like two that I'm like, I'm not too familiar with those. But in a world where I could have Goku battling Luffy from One Piece, yeah, you pretty much got me sold. There are so many just wild shonen characters that come into play, because it's really my favorite genre of anime. And the fact that there's a story mode, for some reason, just really plays in. I mean, you even have JoJo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure here. It's got all the modes you want. You can battle your friends. Now, you can't play this with a fighting controller due to it's a 3D fighter as opposed to the usual 2. So you do have to utilize the analog sticks in these. But the fact is that you have 4 arcs to choose from between Luffy, Ichigo from Bleach, you have Toriko. It really gives the game replayability value. It's almost, honestly, it's almost like they took a bunch of fan fiction and decided to make a game out of it. The art style is incredibly fun. Yeah, the story's pretty weak, and the fan service is pretty much there, but it's I'm a sucker for it. I mean, I do like the game. It's definitely nothing too special, but the popularity is there. I mean, who could not love this if you're an anime fan? The world map kind of gets a little bit to get used to. The way they go about the story, it could have been done better, but when you're a bigot, when you're a sucker for these kind of games as I am, you kind of overlook that with a grain of salt. So they even bring back side characters from their various animes, just to kind of interact in the story. It's really quite enjoyable. Even the writing banter is weak, but good enough where you're just like, I like this. Now onto the battle system. Even from the get-go, it gives you this tutorial, which is easy to understand, and I was actually very surprised with the environmental battles you're in. It's almost like you're in that anime world and you're fighting within it. That's really cool. It's almost, even the Naruto fighting games have sort of strayed from that path. I mean, with the destructible environments, the game has so much to love, no matter how weak it is in certain areas. If you're an anime fan and a fighting fan, I think this game is a must-have for you. I mean, I couldn't have gotten this fast enough, and its price has gone down to affordability. Okay, so I finally got it, Mortal Kombat, the XL version. Now, a lot of people are pissed off with what Mortal Kombat did with so much DLC, and then a year later they released the XL version with all the DLC. Now, a lot of fighting games have been doing this, but Mortal Kombat is probably the worst offender, because even after the XL version came out, no more than a couple months later, they started releasing more DLC, and people must be caving. I, however, am pretty much, there's so much DLC in it on this disc that I'm pretty happy with it. I don't need more. The story mode in it is actually quite good. It has its quirky humor moments with Johnny Cage. It actually, the voice acting is actually very good. The modeling is good, and more importantly, the fighting has so much to love about it. It's pretty crazy how much Mortal Kombat has changed over the years, and yet the characters have remained the same. Now, during these cutscenes, you might have QuickTime events, and if you do them right or incorrect, different things happen. But from what I have experienced so far in it, there aren't too many negatives to it. You just experience something different. So if you want Johnny Cage to kick ass, you hit all the QuickTime events. If you want him to get his ass kicked, you just miss him. But the humor never leaves his character. As for the fighting, it's still punch and block with now environmental things into it, but that's kind of been a thing. Now it really has this big skeletal impact meter going on, and the way the sound works in this game, it's almost like you feel the pain with them. It's pretty nuts how when you hit certain combinations and whatnot, you just get this rush of adrenaline. You're just like, oh my god, did that just happen moment. That's where Mortal Kombat is strong. Besides its weak, I add DLC every week moments, pun intended for sure. They have a simple fatality system and the hard fatality system, and for a novice Mortal Kombat player like me, that is a big bonus because now I can finally see these crazy things happen. Last year on this list today is Street Fighter V, and where do I even begin? The online fighting system is still super slow. God. There's not much good I can say about this game anymore. Unfortunately, there's still no single player mode. The best you can do is just do the survival mode over and over again. They finally released a story mode, which I did enjoy. It's mostly cinematic, and once you go through it one time, you unlock a harder version, but the version's so hard that a novice player like me basically has no chance in beating it. Even during the intro character story modes, where it's this cool little anime comic book style storytelling, the computer is set so easy that you can basically do it blindfolded. So that's incredibly sad. I was really hoping that later they would release a harder version for this, but it seems like they just went, just throw this out and see what happens. Needless to say, Street Fighter V's mechanics are still in the works, but the character designs are very good. I do like the fighting. I am getting better at it, so at least there's that. The awesome combinations and super moves are still gives you that big jump of adrenaline like the previous ones in Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Street Fighter Alpha series have. That's a pro. The story mode that came out is, I couldn't put it down. I beat it in just a few hours because that's how long it takes. It really gets you to know more about the characters, as I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the story takes place between the events of Street Fighter 3 and 4. But I'm still kind of confused why they went that route. You even have this new awesome weird enemy where he just devours souls. He's really cool. Some of these characters are really hard to use. I'm still no good at the timed mechanic maneuvers. But with a character like Cammy or Ryu, which for players like me, I can really kick ass with them. Now this does need to get off my chest. Capcom said that you would not have to pay for DLC if you played the game enough and earned fight money. But from what I am capable of doing, and the fact that you can't do something twice to earn fight money, means I have hit a cap on how much fight money I can earn, therefore I can only buy the DLC. There aren't any daily challenges that they promised as well. That is a big negative for Capcom and me playing this game further. I probably won't be playing this game much more other than just occasionally with friends. I'd say you'd have to pass on this game until further notice. Yep. The fighting genre is back with me in full swing. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is definitely an outlier, but since it's kind of an intro to a game, I thought it'd be perfect to go with these, because that has also been revitalized. The series really fell through with 3 and 4. I wasn't really feeling it. They're still good games, but not as much as the first two were. In the sense of the guilty pleasures, yeah, anime fighting games are kind of my thing lately. I still watch a lot of anime today, so JStars and Blazblue are right up my alley. And then I'm very disappointed with what Street Fighter has done. Yeah, Mortal Kombat at least has good gameplay, and I have the disc with a ton of DLC. So there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully this next one will come out a little bit quicker.